too. I should have been better at guessing your age. I have a 7-year-old too. Carol.
It's alright if I put it in
Yeah,
the desert.
absolutely. Yeah.
The desert
Hayden.
Okay.
Yeah, he's 11 years old. And then I have a 7-year-old. She just turned 7. Her name is Brinkley. And I missed her. I talked to her today. She's doing good though. So do you think that you have, what do you think your future is going to be like if, in ranching if we don't do something?
I just think I'd be able to have the freedom to ranch. Or not like what we have right now. We might be able to do like cow farming. Like have them in a farm or something. That's about it.
And you want to be able to ranch and want to be able to actually make a living off of like ranching and will you hand both of them? I'll put them back in there. Got a binder right behind you. Get this back. This has been I've used it a lot. So
that's why I was wondering if you might want a copy of that.
I really would like a copy of it. Cliff here, he's done a tremendous amount of study in his life about how these regulations, these federal agencies have destroyed the land.
Well, we had a good meeting in town last night.
I heard that.
It was because of you guys.
Well,
I would have never had that audience. But they listened to me for legal arguments for 2 hours, and I got to cover almost everything I wanted to. It was the greatest audience I ever had.
That is awesome. You want to share some things with us real quick here, Cliff?
Well, I thought I would convey to you, I found it very interesting when we attended the largest meeting. I've attended meetings with 800 people, and I think there was more than 800 people there. And all the cars, I think there was at least 1,000 people there.
At least.
But what impressed me is we got there early, but there's a few little seating left. So Bertha and I were able to sit down. And it was orchestrated, very definitely orchestrated, because everybody that came early and was seated, as soon as they announced the sheriff, they all stood and clapped and rooted. And I looked around at the crowd, and it was all the seated people. The people behind seemed to be confused. But I estimate that at least 60% of the people were not aware that they were supposed to support the sheriff. The other thing that Bertha observed that I did, just about 4 seats over, were his parents. And the biggest supporter in standing and clapping and rooting was the sheriff's mother. So a lot of it was orchestrated. And then Brandon, the bald-headed guy was in the he had arranged for me to speak at 5:30.
Right.
And a lot of those people had to leave that meeting, but we had about 50 people. But boy, that was the best audience I ever had in my life. They understood what the problem was. They were looking for solutions. And so I wanted to convey that to you.
Well, that's good to hear. Okay. Very good to hear.
I wanted to report that and then pick up this. So
I'm sad to see that go, Cliff. You did a great job in that thing, and I've used it 100 times.
It should be articulated a little bit and explained. But there's a lot of
the
good
pictures and stuff.
information.
Yeah.
One of them was in the 1970s when.
By the way, Cliff is a rancher in Nevada.
Okay.
He's been there since Nevada was organized.
3 or 4 generations. But anyway, Dave Pollan was in the 1970s was the lead biologist here.
Who?
Dave Pollan. He was the biologist. But I was familiar with him because he did one study on the handle cranes. Was very telling because they weren't getting any production. They were all on the island ranch on private ground. So anyway, not too long after that, the federal government wanted to acquire the Silvies floodplains because of all the production. So they got big grants from Congress, to carry on a study of the Sylvies floodplains for the purpose of justifying to bring in, federal expenditures to make refuge out of that. Well, what was the most interesting is that study, when it was completed, showed that there was absolutely hardly any production they destroyed the production on the Mau here, and the Sylvies had something like 17 times as many. It's all in the data here.
14 times.
Every
birds
species,
and
and all
14
the
times.
predators were up there too.
And
See,
they
that's the
wanted
kind
to,
of data we need that shows that the federal government takes over this land. It's all a lie.
so they
it's all
wanted to
not
own
live.
it so they could manage it.
And now it's just gotten worse since then.
Right.
All this dead, decadent vegetation, they've destroyed the wildlife. And that's the story we in the country have to get out. That the greatest benefit to wildlife is our American free enterprise system and production by that sector. It's all the disinformation coming from the government that has put us all in this situation. We're being oppressed because they have federal control because of the vast sentiment of the American people behind the government. If we had been spreading the disinformation or the information instead of them all these last 45 years, everybody would believe in the American free enterprise system, and we were the ones that should have control of the land, not them. That's the message I want to get out.
Good job.
We do have control of the land, it's just not enforced. The government enforces it.
Yeah. Okay, I'll go. Thank you.
Cliff, good seeing you.
And I want to shake your hand. You're doing a good job.
Sir.
You gotta get a copy of that. Good to meet you, Blaine.
He'll get me. You can give me a copy of that.
I'll make you a call.
I'm sorry.
I don't know how to get it to you.
Yeah. Well, come and visit.
Okay. I'll bring it right to you then.
Okay.
Real quick, just for my notes, I'm with Reuters. Can I get your spelling?
Your what?
I'm with Reuters News Agency. Do you mind if I get your name?
We trust them. That's
Cliff-
why they're in here.
Cliff Gardner.
Cliff? All right.
CLIFF.
Gardner?
Yeah, NER.
Gardner. Local rancher?
No, I'm
Oh.
from Nevada.
Oh, from Nevada, okay.
But I'm familiar with the Harney Basin.
Okay,
I communicated with Susie Hammond dating back in the 1990s.
awesome,
We exchanged information.
perfect.
A lot of this information is Susie's.
Are you Bunkerville, Cliff, or Clark
No,
County?
I'm not Bunkerville. I'm in northern Nevada. I'm in Elko County.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
You got
Thank
it.
you.
Thank you.
Cliff, thank you. Stopping by. That binder, he's got over 40 of those in different areas. That one's just a formality, but he's just took it on himself to go and do the studies, and it's going to be so valuable. I say he just has 40 of those binders, but he says he's got a semi-trailer full of pictures, and him and his wife and staff are all trying to put them in these binders, but he already has 40 built, and they're proof, and he's done it for 40 years, so they're proof, they're studies of the way it was. He's got pictures of the Malheur Lake, clear back 30 years ago or so, 40 years ago, so I guess it would be 40, and then now, and the difference, and then he's got all those studies on the birds, like you said, they're 14 times more likely to land, the migrating birds are 14 times more likely to land on private property than anywhere on refuge.
They have the same deal down by their place.
And they were 4 times more likely, well no, there was 4 times more ducklings and geese hatched on private property than there were on the refuge. And that's just the very, beginning of that data. So, I mean, all of that, there's nothing that works. The people are not free to run their ranches. Their ranches are being taken, and they also are being prosecuted. But then the whole reason why they say that they have been doing it in the first place, which is preservation and for bird wildlife, that doesn't even work. What works is freeing up the land so a person can make the decisions to improve and to produce upon it, and that's what works.
So you true environmentalists are really your ranchers and your farmers,
Oh,
right?
Yeah.
Those guys are really lost.
What I told your mom yesterday.
Outstanding.
That ranchers
Ranchers are
have
environmental.
to
You're the
be
best. Absolutely.
environmentalists.
You live out there, you don't want
don't wanna mess where you live, you want a nice, clean
So
environment.
did you have, any,
I
did you
just
have,
wanna take care of the land, so he'll take care of me.
Exactly.
did you have any more
That's all I
questions?
really-
You're
Very
sure you
simple,
got
very,
you
very
want,
simple.
are you doing a report? Is that what I'm understanding?
Yeah, it's kind of like a little article on.
Okay.
School paper.
They have a school.
What do you
In
think
your
your
school
school would want
paper?
to listen to?
Good
Or
for
what-
you.
do you want to ask more questions? Anybody in here? Or any of us?
I think I got plenty of what I
Do you?
need.
Okay.
Thank you.
Can I take a picture of you together? Do you care if I take a picture of you all together, your family? And
Not really, though. She,
I mean, this is nice.